guys, welcome to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon FBA, private label, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, your host, founder, and CEO of Ecomcy. And today we bring you another special guest. Her name is Alina, and she's the co-founder of two amazing companies, which is ACRank and PressX. Both provide excellent services when it comes to supporting Amazon sellers. So ACRank, they specialize on everything that has to do with positioning and ranking products on Amazon, and Press X specializes on how you can leverage press articles basically to launch and rank products on Amazon. So today's conversation is going to be all about how to effectively launch and rank products on Amazon. We know that this is a hot topic in the Amazon space, especially because we as Amazon sellers, we always keep launching new products every single uh, period in terms of, every couple of months, usually we get into, especially if you have a big brand, to keep enhancing your lineup and understanding what are the most efficient ways to rank and position a product is always super important to ensure you are as efficient as possible. So, Alina, it's a pleasure to have you here on the show. How you doing?
Thank you for having me. Nice to talk to you here as well. We just met in London a few days ago.
Yeah,
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you again for
thank
having
you.
me. And
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. I know we met for the first time. Actually, first time, no, we have met before in person. It's
also,
just that this, yeah, in seller sessions and other different events. But this one, I think it was the first time where I saw you as a speaker. And first of all, I want to congratulate you for your speaking. It was very good, and I love the fact that you are putting so much emphasis on things outside the box, such as influencer marketing and press release. So it was a very interesting presentation, which I advise anybody that wants to know, and of course we're gonna go more in depth throughout this episode around this. But anybody that want to work with these kind of things, Alina is definitely your person for that. Okay. Now, Alina, before we get started with the topic and all the strategies and so on, can you tell me a little bit more about you, just to give a little context about how you jump into the commerce space and what made you co-found these two amazing companies? Yeah?
of course. So yes, I've been in this space since 2017, late 2016, when we first got our contact with Amazon. It's me and my husband, Costin. You know him.
Yeah.
And we started looking into Amazon as sellers. So that's how we started. We actually bought a course and took a course, and that's how we learned the first steps in Amazon. We started as sellers in UK.
Okay.
Back then, UK was in the European Union, and everything was all together, all the 5 marketplaces. There were only 5 back then. So we kind of did a type of a wholesale model, because we have another business here in Romania, which is dedicated to toys and children items distribution. So one of our brands wasn't present on Amazon. So we got approval from the brand, but we already had the products, and the products were under that brand. So those were the first products that we listed on Amazon. There were garden slides for children, big, huge garden. And we used to do them FBM from Romania. And it worked really well back then. For 2 years we did this. First it was UK, and then it was Germany. And then in 2017 we said, okay, now we know all about Amazon. We should launch our private label in US on Amazon.com. That's what we did. It was in the baby category, and long story short, it was a huge mess. We failed big time. Because of everything that Amazon is, and now I know what actually Amazon is, but back then I was under the impression that it was a lot easier, and it's not. It's very serious. At that point, struggling with my baby brand, which only had like one product with three SKUs, 3 variations. Into ranking, Instagram, external, micro influencers, whatever, everything that I heard about, I was trying to do. Facebook ads, Google ads, ads not that much, Facebook ads, groups, discount,
ManyChat. I think ManyChat maybe was already a thing back then.
It just by the end of it. So struggling with all this. This is how AZRank was born, basically, because while doing all this process or all these crazy processes, at one point I saw that this whole ranking thing, which back then it was search and buy, I can do in a little bit different than it was done back then, and different than it has been has been done for the next couple of years as well. So that's how I started with my first 50 or 1,000 people, 100 people, which were all my baby blankets,
Wow.
micro influencers. So that's how it started, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and we always tried to. We didn't advertise much, but I think the word of mouth is the most powerful ambassador.
Yeah.
Years from that moment, we're still here, and we also introduced, as you said, we have a few other things that we do right now. We try to diversify them, because that's what Amazon basically does, right?
Of course. Yeah.
2017 was one thing, 2023 or 2022 is a different thing. What happens in Amazon? So we need to always be new and come with new ideas and new ways of leveraging our positions as brand owners, and of course making more money, right? That's where
Yeah,
we're here.
of course. Wow. That's amazing, and thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're still sellers, and we have also the services. So that's pretty much the end of the story. We
Wow.
started,
Thank you.
but we're still there.
Thank you for sharing that amazing story with us. And what I like, and I find this resembles so much with all my other partners in the service space, that at the end of the day, the solutions we bring to the market is the struggle we went through, right? It's the experience that we had to gain to survive as sellers, and basically throughout the pain and the experience that we basically gain by identifying that a lot of people is going through that journey, is that light bulb that comes to your head and say, why actually I don't use my knowledge to support all those sellers that are struggling, right? And that's exactly what you did with ACRank, and now with the
Yes.
PressX company, that is basically leveraging your experience and your knowledge to provide value to the Amazon community and helping them launch and rank the products on Amazon, which is amazing. Now let's jump into the topic, right? Which is what everybody's waiting for, which is usually, the hacks and tricks, what is working, what is not working, what I should be doing, etc. So maybe we can start with an open question, and then we can go deeper in terms of right now in 2023, September. What you can tell me that is one of the most efficient ways to launch a product on Amazon? Maybe let's start with that, right? If you don't mind.
No, I don't mind, of course. One of the most efficient ways to launch a product on Amazon right now, it still is the good old search find buy. I know we're not
Yeah.
allowed to say search find buy anymore, and actually, and now I'm not joking, the actual search find buy, like the way it used to be done, like searching for a product, searching for a keyword, finding a specific product, and purchasing after you have been previously instructed as a buyer to do so, is completely forbidden, because
Yeah.
Amazon introduced into the TOS in 2021. Now,
Yeah.
why we're still here and talking right now is because we found some workarounds, let's say. We changed the process, how it's done,
Yeah.
in a way that now it's more of a market research and less of a 2-second purchase, is
Mm-hmm.
more like a survey to get you feedback about your listing and about your niche and about your category, and less um, the purchase. I mean, the purchase is there, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
focused. We're not focusing on manipulating um, a specific product into the search results, right? And how we don't do that? Because we do not send the buyers onto the keywords. So going back to your question, my strategy would be randomize. Into one
Mm-hmm.
word, I would randomize. Do not focus on just 3 keywords, which are your main and second main and third main, like people used to do back in the days. For example, we have
Yeah.
launches right now with 86 keywords, 34
Wow.
keywords. It's very common, all at the same time, randomly, doing
I
market
see.
research and purchases at the same time. But people choose from those randomly. We do not influence the search results based on what the POS is
Interesting.
saying.
Just to
So
make you a question right here, because I think I see people already coming in the comments and having concerns about how to implement this. They might say, yes, that's a very good alternative, but as you may know, there's still that concept that you need certain amount of cells at the keyword level to get position on that specific keyword. So I guess when you now randomize it, you just spread the effort, people could say, across different
no,
keywords. So what do you see? What can you say about that typical question people might give you, basically, around that? Yeah.
I gave you the example at a very, like, the broad image. We
Mm-hmm.
go more in depth and we try to get as close as possible to those required units. However, and this is very important, this is hack number 2 or hack number
Awesome.
1 for
I'm
smart
making notes
strategy.
here. Yeah.
Yes. If you do this strategy, even if it's in your PPC, even if it's in wherever, external traffic, Google Ads, whatever, wherever, or with your own database of
List.
people, you
Yeah.
do this list, yes. If you do this strategy with several keywords at the same time, randomly, you will see, I mean, randomly, but also controlled, I mean, for example, just
Exactly.
parenthesis here. If we're doing 10 units today, if I need 10 units today on these 2 keywords, I'm going to give them 5 keywords and 12 units, so that
Mathematically.
it's got
Yeah. Yeah. I
mathematically
see.
close. I mean, it's not going to be exact, but next day we're going to see what happened today, and next we're going to plan for the next day, also randomized, but at the end of the process we can control it. So going back, what I was saying is that when you do this, you're going to see that mostly, I mean, barely you need to do half. I mean, even less sometimes even more, depends a lot on the sometimes more, depends a lot on the I mean, on category and product. If you're launching vitamin C serum, my theory doesn't work because
Yeah.
it's a crazy. If you're launching massage gun, my theory doesn't work. If you're launching supplements, some of them, this
Yeah.
doesn't work.
We're
Where
launching
it doesn't work,
vitamin C. This is not gonna work for sure.
it works eventually, but it's not it's not valid for needing less amount of units in order to rank, because all this randomizing and all this uncontrolled numbers per day, but an overall controlled number as a whole, apparently the algorithm likes that. And we've had hundreds and hundreds of launches where we even stopped the campaign. For example, we planned for 200 units over 1 month, and we stopped at 100 units because we were already like top 5 on all the keywords, and then we added more keywords for the next 100 units.
Yeah,
So
I see. Interesting.
eventually, it's called, I mean, it's not something that I invented. I mean, yes, this strategy is ours, and I think we're the only ones that we're implementing is like this, but the concept is there. And it's some people call it contextual
Exactly.
rank.
Okay. Now, just a quick question as well, a parenthesis, because just to make sure we finalize this thinking, is like, do you remember when there was the whole hype around the search find by? It's not only about the quantity of keywords, but it's also about the timeline. This basically means for how many days you do this for, right? Do you see the same happening at the moment? Like you have to do this for 8 to 10 days, as usually people did in the past, or now that is less important? Would you say?
I never liked the 8 to 10 days, never. Because I always thought it's too big of a push on the algorithm, especially for a new launch. I mean, yes, okay, it's a week, but at the end of that week, things may not happen as you want, because
Exactly.
it's just the first 8 to 10 days of your life as a product, right? Of the life of your new product. your images may not be good enough and you don't have enough feedback about that. Your PPC might not have started working properly, your Google Ads and whatever. So it's, if you stop after 8 to 10 days, you're risking of deranking. Now,
because you basically show a spike that is not natural. That's pretty much the reason. Yeah.
Exactly. So I would rather do, and that's how we try to recommend our clients to do it. Longer time. I'm not saying a month or 2 or 3 or 7 weeks or whatever, just longer, as much as your budget allows, as much as your strategy allows. 2 weeks, ideally, starting from 2 weeks up to 1 month would be perfect, but with lower numbers per day. So at the end of the day, you might end up with the same total number of units. You know what I mean? But just spread them, because doing 8 to 10 days or 1 or 2 keywords, it's one thing, and doing 1 month with the same number of units, let's say 100 over 20 keywords, it's a whole different story. At the end of that 1 month and the same number of units, you're going to be much better ranked overall, because it's a halo effect, a snowball effect.
Because you basically spread the efforts evenly across the whole data spectrum, right, down specific data set, and it looks more natural, and the result sticks more, because you basically increase the medium basically of cells and everything, right down just specific amount of days, and that's it. Right. Awesome. Now this is of course the one that is similar to the old traditional search fan buy. Of course, it's different because it has to be within TOS, and it basically adapts using the methodology you just explained. But on top of this strategy, what are things you see also affecting towards launch? So, for example, things that we also hear in the space is like when launching, use your list, so use some kind of external traffic as an influencer, or like a press release. Like, what are some of these other factors that you have seen that can contribute to traffic, that in your eyes and your analysis that you have done into this specific niche is affecting positively, in a positive way, sorry, the growth and the scale of products on Amazon?
So in 2023 September, as you said, it's basically, it's a must have to have a little bit, even it's a little tiny bit of external traffic on a launch. Talking about a complete new launch. Now, when we say external traffic, we can say a million things. There's TikTok, mini influencers, I mean smaller influencers, let's say. There's big influencers. There are all types of things that you can do, ads, blogs, whatever. I know opinions are very divided onto whether you should or should not use the press. My personal opinion for the way we're doing press right now is that unless it's a very competitive niche that you want a bigger boost, I wouldn't do it in a regular niche where you're expecting, I don't know, 50 units a day, or maybe not regular. So maybe like a smaller a niche. For example, I'm thinking like that because most of the sellers that I'm seeing right now, except for the bigger brands, are looking into this kind of niches, which are, those forget about niches, sub categories where
super niche,
much competition. Yes. So, and that's the ones I like also. So if my product is going to on average have 40 units a day as sales, I might go away and beyond with a press article that will also cost me some money, and at the same time it's gonna create a big boost in the beginning and then will decrease. I would find some other ways. I will find a few people that would post on TikTok about my product if it's TikTok uh,
Yeah.
like. Yeah. I mean, if it's a good product for that, or
Yeah, you're not gonna put a table in TikTok.
yeah,
Something that is not
there's
trendy. It needs to be something that, yeah, it can be likable on social media, of course. Yeah.
exactly the one way that um, our type of press can work in these situations. I mean, for a regular product, let's call it like this, let's call it a regular product, would be those kind of listicles. I'm sure you're
Mm,
familiar with those are like a best black top 20 best give
yeah,
Thanksgiving
typical
gifts.
things that you go online and you wanna compare against others. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Exactly. Those type of articles, and we have them all day long, all year long. It's not
Okay.
necessarily Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Christmas, and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Those are the expensive ones. I mean,
Yeah, of
not
course.
expensive. Those are the most like huge amount of traffic because everybody's shopping those days, right?
Yeah,
But we have
exactly.
them throughout the years. There's Mother's Day, there's Father's Day, there's St. Patrick. There's all type of holidays like this in the US, and I would totally recommend trying that. And why I'm very confident in saying that is because our way of doing press, um, and again, I think we're the only ones doing this type
Mm,
of model, is via CPC, so cost per click.
mm,
If you
okay.
get the click, you pay. If you don't get the click, you don't pay. You don't pay for the article, so the article gets written anyway. And even if you get no clicks at all, that can happen. You just pay like
Wow,
a few $100.
that's
It's our
interesting.
fee. But you get the article. And hack number two, which is valid not only for for our articles. This can be valid for any blog post, any appearance in any publications for any brand out there, for any product.
Yeah.
You can do your own Google Ads to that. And
Mm,
this is what happens with our articles as well. They stay there on the internet, on
yeah.
the interwebs. Almost 99% of the situations, the articles don't go down, so they're not pulled off. So
Okay.
if your article is there, then, or if somebody wrote a blog post, or you went to a blogger, this could be a very interesting strategy. You went to a blogger, you pay like minimum amounts of money, or
Yeah.
find someone who do it for free, or just testing the product, write the blog article, and then promote it yourself with some Google Ads, and that's how you get your cheap external
Nice.
traffic during a
Nice.
launch. This is what happens with our articles as well. So you get the article. Sometimes they are we work with very notorious publishers, like it's Bustle, it's Vice, it's Refinery 29, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of stuff. Even if you in UK, we have a few that they're very good. So yeah,
Nice.
I'm
Very good.
over.
So I could assume, yeah, that's a very good tip in terms of the press release because it's something that I feel, yeah, some people have mentioned, but to be honest, I haven't really met a lot of people like knows how to do it. Like they say, yes, you might do some blogs or some press release, but it just like they talk about it, they don't actually implement it. So the reason why I mentioned this because now that I know you have a lot of experience in the press release space, is there any specific maybe advice or tips we as Amazon sellers should consider when it comes to this? I know you already mentioned like use the best top X as one of the main contributors to basically those are the types of blogs that and press releases that tend to be more successful. But when I say tips, it's in terms of is there any kind of maybe combination that you have to do to get the most out of it? What I mean is, let's say you do a press release, would you advise combining this with maybe an influencer that talks about this press release so it brings traffic to the press release and then this goes to Amazon, or you advise combine this with your own list so basically you can create authority to your list and then from the press release they go to Amazon? Like, is there any clever maybe combinations we can do only on top of only posting the press release, or you will say that only by doing the press release usually you get the best out of it, if you see what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, I see what you mean. I mean, once you have that press
Yeah.
release or press article, or however you want to call it, it's definitely not the end of it. So I wouldn't,
Okay.
if there are ways to get some more juice out of that, definitely do it. I don't have the like a recipe or
Hmm.
a strategy, because each product and each publisher is very different. What
I see.
works with a table that we talked about doesn't work with vitamin C serum.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
what works with a toy doesn't work with a supplement. You know.
Mm.
Uh, However, on a general basis, I would say that yes, promoting the heck out of it as much as possible, and yes, finding a influencer. I was just talking to a client on PressX yesterday. They have a
Yeah.
huge brand on Amazon, absolutely huge, and one of their products got featured into some US popular um, I'm missing the name in
Don't
English.
worry.
Uh,
That's fine.
some US famous person, famous girl, spoke about it in an interview, and now whenever that interview gets mentioned in the news or in a YouTube video, their
If you're a
sales go
spike.
like that.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
it's
typical like a
crazy
Shark Tank
what
product, like these people that have been lucky to has been mentioned in Shark Tank or these famous programs, and that drives a ton of traffic. Yeah. Hmm.
whatever you can do on top of that, just do it. Just try to take the that would be my advice. Sorry, try to
Nice.
take the all the juice out of it.
Good.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but I mean, you can imagine if you have one article alone compared with one article and 5 blog posts mentioning that
Exactly.
article, what's
It's
going to
much
be?
powerful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, something I'm sure maybe you recommend here is that with this, or maybe it can be done, and that's why I actually ask you, can you with these articles actually also use attribution and brand referral a bonus to
Only
first track the
attribution.
traffic and get the 10%, right? Yeah.
Yes, we do only with attribution. So
Right.
I've had sellers come back and say, "Hey, our campaign, our campaign ends when the budget ends or when the date expires, let's say, because they expire at one point inside
Hmm.
our system, right? But the article
Okay.
will stay there. So it was like 2 or 3 weeks after he was not paying for any of the clicks coming from that article, but he was getting clicks and he was getting sales out of it,
Wow.
all through
Wow.
the
Nice.
attribution, because we don't track via attribution, but each seller can track on their own links that they gave us.
Yeah. And they could also potentially get the referral bonus as well, right? In this
Yeah,
case.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
of course,
Yeah.
that comes to you entirely.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
to
Automatically. Yeah. Nice. And now, so we can start concluding today's episode. I want to start with this question because I'm sure people, at the end of the episode, they want something actionable so they can start basically implementing. And the question is, based on all the conversation we just had and all the things you've been trying, which one is the source of external traffic that you think, and this is, I know, is based on personal experience, it might be different for different people, but I always like to compare different points of view. What is being in your eyes and experience the source of traffic that provides the best outcome in terms of activity, positive activity in your Amazon sales? Basically, and what I mean by this is influencer marketing, articles, Google Ads, all of that. Like, what have you seen is really? I know it's a tough question because it can be dynamic based on type of product, but I'm sure you have maybe identified some similarities and consistencies that maybe you can share. Yeah.
so I would split 50-50 between articles but when I say articles, it's not like doesn't have to be press. So it can be a
Okay.
blog, it can be like mentions, appearances in
Okay.
all this
Backlinks basically from other websites and other things.
active.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's the name, thank you. So I would do 50 for that, and in my personal opinion, maybe this is something that a lot of people haven't looked too much into, but lately I would say YouTube.
YouTube. So I guess maybe with YouTube, you assume doing things like unboxing videos, guides, things within people that have
Yeah,
your product button, right? Yeah.
yes. The thing is, I find it difficult myself because I've been trying this for one of our brands to find some ways, and there are ways. Like
Mm-hmm.
you said, you go comment on some videos, you get some
Mm-hmm.
people you post them on your page, you promote them inside YouTube. But I don't have like the magic thing to tell people. However, we did some tests on AZRank as well. I mean, of course, we combine all these strategies when it comes to a launch or a relaunch or something.
Yeah.
And I've seen the greatest results. I mean, the best results were coming from not from the Google ads, not from whatever other domains, not from TikTok, but from YouTube in terms of ranking. And this is
Wow.
what is telling me that Amazon likes those type of backlinks. I think you
Nice.
can also call them like that.
Interesting. So thank you very much for those tips, Aline. I appreciate it. So now, first of all, I want to thank you for being on the show. And I know this is a topic that we could spend days talking about. And I just wanted to use this initial, instance of having you as a guest to cover the main things and your personal experience and to provide some actionable steps as you did to our audience. And now I want you to, tell us a little bit about how people can get in reach with you. And not only that, like, tell us also how they can work with your companies, and maybe you can highlight some of the things you offer for Amazon sellers. Yeah.
So if they want to reach out, it's either to me or ask about the services. My name is on the screen. I'm with that name on all social media like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. They can find me, and I'm usually pretty responsive to messages. Or if they want to check out more about what we do, even if it's not that much information out there on the websites, because as I told you, word of mouth is the best way, and
Hmm.
we like
Yeah.
to create a connection first before like sharing everything we do. So that's why it's not too much on the website. But it's azrank, azrank.com, pressx.live. On either of those, they can message about any of the services we do, and we will reach out with all the information.
Thank you very much, Helena. And yes, I can definitely say that when it comes to you guys, yes, word of mouth is definitely on your side. People talk amazing things about you. So congrats about that. Yes, thank you for being on the show. I'm sure we're gonna have you many more times as you keep discovering ways of launching a ranking products on Amazon. In the meantime, yeah, thank you, and it's been a pleasure. Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
thank
And
you.
yes, looking forward until the next one. Thank
Yeah,
you.
on the next one. See ya. Bye bye.